and these coxes will be looking to get away as cleanly as possible. Of course, unlike in your, I think we're away for the women's fifth division. We missed the final cannon, but a strong start there from Pembroke. But I think an even stronger one from Christchurch. The flying start coming up on Wolfson's third eight. We could see a very early bump coming here, battling the wash from those eights ahead of them. I think Christchurch had a very strong start there, players.
Yeah, brilliant start. And but I think from Pembroke, they'll be happy with that. They'll be really happy with that. Looking just to row out all the way down the course. You see Christchurch there just coming under Donington Bridge. And actually, despite what I just said about Pembroke, a little bit of disaster with their blade work, not quite together, and a blinder of a bump there from Wilson straight into Pembroke, collided with them as well. So what sort of impact is this going to have on Wilson? As are they going to end up getting in the way of Christchurch? We see them frantically trying to get out of the way, but there's disaster all over the place, really. We've got Christchurch walloping into the back of Wilson. It's all kicking off. We see tempers flaring there, Ed, in the Christchurch boat. Everyone's shouting. Everyone's emotions all over the place in this early stage.
Yeah, I'm thankful we haven't got any audio on these boats.
I think that's probably best.
Some guidance problems on there, but I think again we've got a little bit of chaos there. Pembroke, what a disappointment after a really strong start. They are about to be overtaken by the majority of crews in this division. We see here Mansfield's 8 going past there. This is the top boat. This is the top boat they've been in, and it looks like they're about to take Pembroke after a disastrous start. I think we might even see a blade clash or two there. There's like a nasty tussle at the front there.
Yeah, this is quite something, this, in Women's Division 5. This is sort of all the action. It's sort of all coming down to this. We've got Mansfield charging through the middle. We've seen St Hugh's following straight their line as well. On screen there, we've got Lineker followed by Balliol. Slightly less dramatic, of course, what's going on here. And Balliol trying to close in on Lineker as well. Little crab there from the stroke women. Something's not quite right there in that boat as well. There's stuff going on all over the place, and just coming into shot there, wrapping up it is Worcester in their bright pink blades. But this is the most dramatic racing we've had all day. We hope you're enjoying this back home, and this is what Torpids is all about. We see there just going into the bank. It is Lineker. Lineker's heading into the side. Balliol are going off to the other side of the river, and we've got Worcester about to plough straight through everyone as well. We're going to have to make sense out of all of this at the end of the racing. We see Worcester there ploughing into the back of Balliol, but back on screen now, we've got Pembroke. Pembroke have to stay racing. Obviously, they set off top of the division. They're now being chased by, I think, St Hugh's, Ed. I've caught all the way up with them. So if St Hugh's get this bump, which it looks like they're going to, what a dreadful day for Pembroke, potentially dropping all the way through 5th position in the category.
Yeah, Pembroke looking fairly flustered there as they were encroached upon by St Hugh's, and no surprise after the drum at the start there. St Hugh's pulling into the side at this point. I'm not sure if they gained a bump on Pembroke, but it seems to be the end of the first day of racing for St Hugh's, but Pembroke will row on regardless.
Yeah, Pembroke, they've got to carry on. They've got to carry on despite these bumps that they've been having all over the place. We see the umpires launch coming through, trying to make sense of what on earth has gone on in the opening stage of this Women's Division 5. We've got crews left, right, and centre. Some bumps, some not, but. Big day from St Hugh's. Big day from St Hugh's. They're able to capitalise on all the chaos that went on. Straight up bump Pembroke, and I think it's going to be a really promising result there. We see on screen at the moment it is Lineker there at second 8. Looking strong, Ed, at Lineker's second 8.
Yeah, I was just thinking about looking very powerful. It's nice to have these close-up shots of the crews. Very distinctive blades. We've got there, but yeah, looking very, very powerful. As they went into the bank earlier on, their stroke woman looked to be in some kind of pains. I'm not sure whether there was an issue there, whether it was just our camera angle, but they are continuing their campaign up the river now. Again, as we've said, any crews that are able to capitalise on the chaos of those opening sequences are really gonna pay off for them. Whereas those that haven't are going to struggle over the coming days.
And it's just a sea of devastation really out there. just crews all over the place who have been bumped in that chaos that unfolded in the opening stage of this Division 5. Pembroke, they are soldiering onto the finish line because, of course, they have to, leaders of Division 5 right at the beginning, but not the race they will have been looking for, and it's not a performance that will be inspiring their club mates who'll be setting off first overall in Division 1. But I think it goes to show, despite having had successful years gone by, be it in 2018 or 2019, what matters is today. What matters is the racing that goes down today. It doesn't matter your historical results or how well you've done previously. What matters is what you do when you turn up on the day and make the most of the racing opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's very easy to get bogged down into the historical results, but in reality, the blades that a club gained in 1892 have very little bearing, if any, on the results we see today. And I think if the divisions that come up are as chaotic as the ones we've seen already, it's going to be a really, really interesting day. And I think everyone watching this stream is going to be sad that they're not down in the bank to experience the chaos firsthand. But like we said, for those crews that are able to capitalise on these sloppy starts as we go into the gut, it's a miracle sent down from heaven if you can just weed your way through several crews, bumping several crews all the way through. Whereas for those that don't manage it, it's a more challenging start to their Tour Grids campaign this year. But like we've said, it's going to be the real mark of crews to see how they can respond.
So there we see Pembroke's women's second date coming up to the finish line of their crack at day one of Summer Torpids 2021. You see from the camera position on the roof of New College Boathouse, we've got plenty out enjoying the racing. Whilst we may not have spectators, we'll have all the athletes down at their respective boathouses cheering on all their club mates, trying to get the most out of them whilst out on the water. Coming through there, it is Lineker. Lineker's second date with their yellow blades, and they're coming into the last few hundred meters or so. And there we see the umpires launch. And Ed, what I think looks to be, Balliol chasing down Lineker. And as we've mentioned, chaos, drama, everything unfolding in the previous stages, the early stages of this race. And once we get the breakdown, the graphs, we'll be able to show you exactly who the winners and losers were from Division 5 Women's Aids. When I say winners and losers, it's really losers and, well, who lost by the least amount and who was sort of the biggest losers. Pembroke, of course, suffered massively, but we'll see how everyone else fared as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't envy the umpire today who's trying to make sense of all this from the back of the race. But really, really interesting to see, as we were saying before this division, how those first few strokes can impact your chances. Because, of course, if you lose a few positions today, that means that before you can even try to advance your bumps campaign, you've got to first get back to where you are, and that could take you a good few days. So some of the losses that we've seen here today could hold these boats back for the next few years. It's really a real disappointment, especially for Pembroke at the front, who suffered the most today. Heartfelt commiserations to them after what was a really strong start.